Hi, I'm Dr. Cheryl Lees. I'm the Associate Director of the Sunshine Zone CFC. We're here today to support the military, which is the CFC's Cause of the Week. I'm here with Dean Hemley from Pause for Friendship and Greg Smith from Friends of Fisher House Orlando. Military service impacts individuals and families in numerous ways. We're thankful to those who serve and have served, as well as the communities that support them. Let's hear from Lieutenant Colonel Coffey, who's actually an a military member, as well as a recipient of the CFC funds.
Hi, I'm Stephen Coffey, a Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force, and I'm speaking to you from Qatar. I joined the Combined Federal Campaign so that I can give to and support charities that can advocate for parents with children that have chronic medical conditions. You know, there's a saying that you never know what life throws at you. These words never rang more true than with the birth of my son, Stephen Coffey II. In his life, I would discover my passion as a father, my interest in patient advocacy, and the world would be introduced to a living miracle. Stephen received a life-saving liver transplant in 2012 due to a misdiagnosis of a rare metabolic condition called galactosemia. Stephen was in a Washington, D.C. hospital when one of the resident doctors who was talking to a senior doctor mentioned, "This is Stephen, our 2-month-old from an outside hospital, who has fulminant liver failure secondary to galactosemia." In the military, I'm trained to be a problem solver, to adapt and to adjust to adversity, whether it's on the battlefield or in our lives. But as a newlywed and a new parent, during my son's transplant, I felt alone and helpless. And now, 7 years later, I'm on a mission to see that others don't feel as helpless as I did during that time. We're still impacted by these kinds of issues. You know, I'm deployed for a year, and my wife, like many other spouses and people around the world, is adjusting to a new normal in life. In my absence, in addition to her role as being a mom and being a wife, she's now introduced and included being a third-grade teacher, working professional, counselor, and countless other tasks associated with being a military spouse. One thing that she, like many other spouses and caregivers like her, need is a little help. And that's where CFC comes in. Why is it so important? The CFC gives us the ability to connect with charities like those that have impacted our lives. They've helped us navigate a complex medical landscape and help manage our situation. So whether it's healthcare, patient advocacy, education, or whatever your cause, it's easy to get involved. Through the CFC, you can show some love to a charity that impacts your life. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Coffey, and I care about patient advocacy. What's your cause? Go to givecfc.org and show some love today. Thanks.
Such a great video. I actually want to talk a little bit more about your impact with CFC, how you can help families and military members as well as veterans. For $15, you can send a comfort food package to a deployed service member. For less than $30, you can connect service members abroad to their families. For $100, you can train a service member who's transitioning to the civilian lifestyle and an occupation. And for $1,000, you can help injured veterans transition to civilian lives after war. There's a lot of ways that we can impact each other as a group, but we have to remember that it takes a bunch of us to band together to help others. Dean, I'd like to talk to you about Pause for Friendship. We have Dean Hemley here, who's actually who's shared some great photos with us with the service dogs who go to the VA hospitals and meet with veterans. Dean, can you tell us a little bit more about Pause for Friendship?
Pause for Friendship is a group of about 1,700 pets and their owners. And nationwide, we visit a number of facilities, including VA hospitals, I personally visit the VA hospital in Tampa. I have friends who visit in Bay Pines in St. Petersburg. I also visit a state VA assisted living home once a week in the Tampa area. I know that in other areas, there's a very active program at the VA hospital in Omaha and places where they do support the veterans. We also visit retirement homes and schools and libraries throughout the country. We have a reading program called Pause to Read, where children read to the pets. I know my greyhound spent 2 years in a school for children with learning disabilities, going once a week to reading classes. And it's very rewarding for the pets and for the pet owners. I myself am a retired veteran. When I retired from federal civil service, I got a dog and started doing pet therapy, and it has kept me active, kept me involved. And I thank you for any support you can give to any of the CFC charities.
Thank you, Dean. Can you please, and thank you for your service. Thank you. Sure. Can you please tell us a little bit more about how Pause for Friendship works with veterans?
Well, we do visit, like, as I said, veterans hospitals and visit patients there. We have a program where we go to veteran homes, not just VA, but state and local homes, and visit with the residents of those homes. We participate in pet parades at veterans activities, or in other parades, we take our pets and parade them proudly. But mainly it's just the pets, as you can see from the pictures on the screen. It's just the pets visiting the people, visiting the patients, visiting the staff. Often the staff needs a little therapy as well as the patient, maybe more so. It's stressful.
Absolutely. Can you tell us 3 things that donors might not know about your organization?
Excuse me?
Can you tell us 3 things that donors might not know about your organization?
Our organization not only visits hospitals, nursing homes, but we do respond in times of emergency. The first act that really got this organization started was when a Great Dane in Omaha made a trip down to Oklahoma City after the Murtha building bombing and provided comfort there. And then the pet and her owner went back to Omaha and said, Pause for Friendship. We've also responded to other activities or other emergencies, such as the Sandy Hook shooting, the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. We spent almost 2 weeks going back and forth to visit with family and victims of the Pulse shootings. And those are the kind of things we try to get involved in.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Dean.
You're welcome.
Next, we'll show a video from Friends of Fisher House Orlando.
There's no greater love for one's country than to serve in a branch of our military services. And for those who become injured or in need of hospitalization, the stress on their family to manage everyday life and to be there for their loved one can be overwhelming, both emotionally and financially. The Fisher House Orlando offers Central Florida military families access to temporary cost-free lodging in a comfortable setting just steps away from the Orlando VA Medical Center. The Friends of Fisher House Orlando is a registered 501c3 nonprofit whose mission is to support the ongoing funding of the Orlando Fisher House. Please visit our website, orlandofisherhouse.org, to volunteer or to donate to Friends of Fisher House Orlando. Your donation makes a difference in the lives of those who have put us before themselves. Please help us put them first now. Thank you.
And here with us today, we have Mr. Greg Smith, who's the president of Friends of Fisher House Orlando. Hi, Greg.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Greg, can you tell us about your top 3 programs?
Yes, I can. So to reiterate what Secretary McDonald said there is we offer cost-free lodging. This lodging is on the premises of the VA Medical Center in Orlando, like almost all of the Fisher houses are. Also, meals are provided, and many times they're cooked by volunteers. Due to the current pandemic, we've had to cut back on the number of volunteers there, but that is principally what we do. When the house is full and not available, we can arrange to get a hotel room. And in some cases, if somebody is coming from out of town and they don't have the money for airfare, we can work with the National Fisher House, and through donation of points, we're able to buy a ticket for the individual to get to Fisher House Orlando.
Amazing. Can you
Just-
tell us? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Can you tell us 3 things that donors might not know about your organization?
I would love to. A couple of things. First, we are the local branch of the Fisher House organization. I like to call it the largest charity you've never heard of. It was started by the son of an immigrant who couldn't serve in the military, and he asked Admiral, the chief of naval operations back in 1990, what he could do to help out our military. And the Admiral said, well, you can build a house that will house the families of veterans or active duty members staying at the hospital so that they can concentrate on helping their loved one get better and take the stress off of them. And so since that time in 1991, there have been about 100 built. I think next year, number 100 will be finished. And Friends of Fisher House, as I said, does not cost anybody anything. It's Fisher House organization has been a 4-star charity with Charity Navigator for the last 10 to 12 years. It doesn't do any direct mailing, solicitation. The only mailings that we do are twice a year. We send out magazines giving updates on the Fisher House program. It's a lovely house. When Mr. Fisher said that he would do this, he said under 2 conditions. First, the house has got to be like my own, and everybody will be treated as if they are a guest in my house. And the ultimate goal is to take the stress off of those staying there and to offer a community atmosphere. And it's not just the families. We also have those who are receiving oncology treatments as an outpatient. They are able to stay overnight so that they don't have to drive back home, and they don't, in the event that they're feeling sick, or they can check in the night before if they have an early treatment the next day.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. To support either of these charities, as well as one of the 6,000 or more charities that belong to CFC this season, please visit givecfc.org and make your donation today. Thank you very much for supporting military families and the CFC.